Welcome everybody to That's Just Ridiculous, a weekly podcast featuring me, Paul Fryer, and him, Guy Kenaway. Unrehearsed, unscripted, unguarded. That's us. Back in Whitstable.
We have no notes out at all.
No.
Would you ever? Do any of the listeners ever think we've got any notes? Of course they do, because all broadcasters do normally.
Well, the thing is, Guy, you know, the world is full of deception. Do you ever think about that? The entire world as we know it is basically just one fucking load of bollocks after another.
I don't think so.
I think
We've
it's
just
mostly...
spent the day together. What element of today? When did we meet someone who was deceiving us?
No, I mean that the world in general, the way things are presented on telly and... Christmas. Take Christmas, for instance.
Yep.
Isn't Christmas, it's just basically a marketing exercise, isn't it?
Yeah,
and everybody knows that, but everybody goes along with it and pretends it isn't.
Yeah.
For the kids or whatever.
Heartwarming.
Yeah. And it isn't really.
Yeah.
People say, I mean, I don't think I'm being a humbug.
No, I don't think that's entirely true. I think Christmas is also a moment in which forgiveness comes a little easier.
Forgiveness? Who are we forgiving?
Well, often families have little rows during the year.
Guy, most people fucking fall out at Christmas. They don't forgive each other.
Well, whereas I find my heart swells, and I have a deep well.
Die of an aneurysm.
And I have a deep well of
Deep well of four.
I dip into. I drop my bucket into a deep well of kind of
milk,
of tolerance and
so let's use
kindness.
Yeah, the milk of human kindness.
Yeah, kindness, Paul. Not something maybe that you're that familiar
Is it?
with.
You know, your kindness. If you could visualise it, Guy, what would it look like? Milk?
I just said I've dropped a
or
bucket
jelly
into a well, and up I come, a bucket of kindness, and I let my hand rest in it, and that's Christmas.
And then you
people
wee
who
yourself.
have done me wrong, I can't think of anyone.
You let your hand rest in the bucket of kindness?
I can't think of anyone.
Guy.
Yeah, and up it comes.
You let your hand rest in the bucket of kindness?
Yeah, I put it in and take it out. And here's the thing: is that
why are you doing that?
Because the people who have done me wrong.
Shouldn't you be giving the bucket of kindness away?
No, it's time to forget them. Time to forget the wrongs, and to say it's okay. We move on. The year is turning.
What wrongs?
Well, say something bad has happened.
The things that you've done.
Either or that have happened.
Have happened. What does that mean?
Well, there's been misunderstandings or there's been unpleasantness, and you go, now's the time to forget all that.
So it's like
and that's not a commercial operation.
It's a Wonderful Life type thing.
Kind of, yeah. And you go, it's time to forget all those things that went wrong and be nice to each other. I don't know whether you did that in your family.
Holidays are coming.
And I really like doing that, and that's a nice vibe, and it's good time to forget and to forgive people who you love. But as I say, I don't know if that is a tradition in the Irish fraternity of
Santa Claus, the Coca-Cola colours.
But in my family, that's a tradition.
Is it?
Yeah, and you just let it go. It's very nice. Why have you got a funny face on?
Do you have to do that a lot?
Is that painful to you?
Do you have to do that a lot in your family?
Yeah, well, I think all families have that. Definitely, you have like things that go wrong, and you go, it's all right, let it go, it's fine. When they were drunk when they said it, or they didn't mean to.
The asshole.
Well,
let it go.
Well, that's
Christmas.
why it's a different kind of thing. So
let it go.
To you, it's a purely commercial thing.
No, fair enough.
But
we'll let it go because it's Christmas.
Yes, exactly.
Guy, we're going to let it go because it's Christmas. No, have a seat. No, let's just relax. Let bygones be bygones. You know, she's here now, so we're just going to let it go. It's Christmas, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly the spirit, Paul. But I can see from the way you're saying it, and I believe the listener will also possibly.
I'm asking you a question about it because I've
answered you very honestly, and I can see that you're finding it quite hard to do that. It's quite easy to let things go.
Quite hard to do what?
And that is what love is.
Okay, that's not love.
It is.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Go on.
Papering over the cracks.
That's
smoothing things over, Guy.
Yeah, it's lovely, and that's what love is, going. You know,
no, it's not, Guy. Love is not papering over the cracks. Love is not smoothing things over.
Oh, definitely it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's saying I forgive you and you forgive me, and let's forget about it and move on. Not let's get a chisel out and make this crack a bit bigger.
No, Guy. Let's cut out the badness.
No, we don't cutting out is not part of
right,
life.
I offend thee. Pluck it out.
Yeah, right, that's like that's.
Where is that from?
From the Irish
Christian
people,
Bible, guy.
From the Irish people in Leeds, exactly.
No, guys, from the Christian Bible.
Whereas our lot,
remind me, what is Christmas again?
Christmas is...
It's the festival of that bloke that got nailed to a tree.
Yeah, we know that. We know this.
Guy, I'm not joking. I think Christianity has been a terrible scourge.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, in my community, in the Irish community as well, terrible scourge. The Catholic Church, the things that were done in the name of Jesus, peace be on him, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. Yeah.
I just don't think I just don't think it's worked out very well. And I'm not saying that I don't think religion necessarily is responsible, but I do think it attracts arseholes. You know, and it gives them a nice little
musical
umbrella.
ones as well, because I find the people who do
musical arseholes.
Yeah, I think that the bands that they have in churches, they're weak. Have you ever been there? You've probably never seen one.
Yeah. Did I not see
a Christian rock band? No, not in another country in Britain.
Yeah. I told you about when I entered that competition with my hymn.
And you won?
No, I wrote a song because I wanted to. There used to be a Songs of Praise. A hymn contest,
right?
And I was going to enter, and I wrote a hymn.
How'd it go?
It went because it basically, you know, you always have a drummer at the back going ba 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 ba.
I don't know.
And it was down 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 ba down 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 down. Since the beginning of time, there has been an alliance between the devil and the men of science. They took away the amoeba. They shall be called the amoeba relievers. But what about our souls, Jesus? What about our souls? What about our souls, Jesus? Who's going to save our souls? Boom. The snake popped into the Garden of Eden, and then they do a little dance like that, and made Eve give Adam the apple. She took advantage of his penis, and now look at the mess we're all in. But what about our souls, Jesus? What about our souls? What do you think?
Did you win? I cannot imagine.
No, we never heard back.
You never heard back, yeah.
We recorded it on a cassette.
Yeah. You were taking the piss though, weren't you?
No.
What a thing about arseholes.
Sorry?
Isn't it?
Arseholes?
Yeah, what about arseholes?
God, that's not even fun.
I just think that's like, and you were surprised, because that's the thing, well, anyway, you didn't win.
No, we should have won.
Lost to Christianity.
We should have won. Can you imagine if that had been on Songs of Praise?
Did you really say something about penis?
Yeah, I took advantage of his penis.
Yeah, that's not cool. You can't say that in church.
That's exactly what she did.
I think that's a complete bollocks thing.
That's a reference to the
it just
evil.
Seems to run against
to original sin, guy.
It seems to
and
run
how
against
the Christians blame women for original sin.
It seems to run against all that I know about women. The Garden of Eden story.
Me too.
It runs against. It's totally contrary.
What do you mean?
To all that I know.
It says
about
that women are evil. That's what the Christian Church believes. That women actually are the root of all evil, not money.
And to me, that runs against received information.
Christian values.
No, against what I know about men and women.
Where are you on Christianity, Guy?
Well, I think that, for instance, blaming women for the bad things in the world is like is a shit enterprise. It's unlikely. I'm amazed that they got away with it for so long.
I can't believe that women put up with it.
It's been 2,000 years that they managed to pull it off, because it seems
How come they didn't get their nuts cut off?
Such an implausible proposition. But anyway, good luck to them.
When they all came out of a woman for a start off.
Indeed, yeah. And
it is a very big. I don't want to piss anyone off.
It's a misogynistic enterprise.
I don't want to upset anyone, but I have to say this: having worked in fashion and having seen some of the inner workings of the Catholic Church, being a member of it, and seeing did something move over there?
No, that's almost my head.
I thought there was a mouse just peeked its head out from under there.
No, it didn't. But didn't. Did you see it?
No.
No. I
imagined it because you looked over there.
Yeah, I'm just moving my head. Go on, I'm listening to you. So, no, I love the way you said. No, you said something like this. Knowing the inner workings of fashion and the church.
Yes, yeah. I would say the two are not that. They're not that dissimilar.
All right.
They're both run by men,
and they like to dress up.
Who like to dress up, And I just want to say, Guy,
it's kind of catwalk as well, Richard.
Yeah, it's a bit of a catwalk going on. There's like, you've got your uniforms and you've got your product.
What's the product? Well, hold on, whoa. What's the product in church? They're not selling anything.
Christianity, Guy.
But they're not selling it, are they?
They're selling it as lifestyle, just like they do in fashion.
All right.
And,
It's
Guy...
surprising, actually, they're not retailing more, the Christian church. You would have thought they could have...
Yeah, they haven't got that end of it together at all, have they?
No,
But then you see, they don't need to, Guy, because they get money for nothing and they're chicks for free.
No.
Basically, what they're selling is what Jimmy Cliff described as pie in the sky, isn't it? What I'm trying to say is...
It's the harder they come,
the harder they fall.
But what
I'm trying to say, guys, that the Catholic Church is basically a massive gay club.
No, it's not. That's not fair on gays.
Guy, no, it was.
It's a paedophile.
No, guys are
gay.
Guy,
Which is to for me, it's to denigrate gay people. There are gay people, but it was more. I felt aimed towards paedophilia.
Yeah, all right. You could say
took
that.
homosexuals in, but they were mainly after paedophiles.
No, Guy. In the old days, when it was unacceptable to be a homosexual, you joined the church, you became a monk, and everybody forgave.
Took it up
what went on behind those doors? What went on behind those doors, no one talks about.
Right, you don't think it was primarily a paedophile thing that became?
No, I think that's grown up recently. The whole pedo thing.
I thought it was actually primarily a pedo thing, but I could be wrong. I stand
corrected. No, Guy. Look, have you been to the Vatican?
It's like a big.
It's like Versace.
It's like the Queen Mother.
It's Versace.
Yeah, ugly.
It's not ugly. It's just very,
I
very
didn't find
rich.
that church pretty. Did you find it good?
What does he say? It's easy for a rich man to
enter the
It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle.
Yeah, well, that's quite easy.
No, it's not.
Ask Bill Gates; he'll sort that.
Guy, can I just continue my train of thought for a bit? 'Cause it's chugging along.
Please continue.
But you weren't brought up a Catholic.
Is it expected to arrive in the next hour?
You weren't. It's on time.
Your train of thought. Could we
Stop that train, I want to get on.
Stop that train, please. Come on.
Guy,
okay.
look, why are you just going...
Hey, stop being silly.
I'm not.
And get on with your train of thought.
Guy, my train of thought...
Which carriage are we in? Are we in the dining carriage?
We're in the observation car.
We're travelling first class. On Paul's train of thought.
No.
The train of thought.
Guy.
Sleeper. Paul, get on with it, come on.
Guy, listen.
Choof. Come on, Paul. And you're saying it's mainly a homosexual thing, and I can see that.
Church.
Why didn't they make homosexuality legal?
Because they couldn't, Guy. They couldn't because of the word of God. Slight impediment.
But weren't they in charge of basically telling everyone? They were in charge of the word of God.
Yes, exactly.
So why didn't they change that?
Because it's called hiding in plain sight, Guy. They couldn't get away with being gay because of the word of God. So what they did was very cunningly took control of it.
Jesus said I'm not kind of arguing with you, but as you know, Jesus said very little about gay people. In fact, I think he almost said nothing about it.
No, but they...
So where did that come
Leviticus. The Old Testament.
Do you think so? I didn't find it, for what little I know of the Old Testament, and I know a little bit about
Jesus hung out with hookers and gay people and thieves.
Yeah,
and
so why...
basically what were regarded then as being...
Guy! People just let the train of thought...
Guys, what you're trying to do now is get on my train, but do continue. It's pathetic watching you running up beside it. I'm putting my arm out now. I'm just saying,
the thing is, Paul... We have to keep moving this. This is a pod.
Yes, come on then, get on with it. Right. Say something.
So I'm saying to you, what was in it for the church to make homosexuality so illegal? Because normally, when the church has decreed something, you think, oh, that's because it was good for their money or they're good for their sex lives or this or that. I can't understand.
I can answer that question.
Why they didn't sanction it?
I can answer that question, Guy.
Why?
Because the church, when you look at it, if you look at it really objectively, what you see really is the whole thing is all about controlling. It's all about controlling women, and that is all about controlling reproduction. So by doing that, they kind of did have control, because there were whole areas which normal people didn't have access to, i.e., the priesthood and everything. So they were quite safe there. And of course, if you were...
I don't disagree with that. I don't think you've quite answered my point there about why should homosexuality be such a threat to that? Because, Guy, it undermines the idea of the nuclear family and the family unit of a man and a woman. Well, that's true.
That's why. So knowing that was the case, there was only one way around it, and that was to be basically to form a system in which they could be safe, you know. And this is a very controversial thing, but I believe it's true. I think that the whole thing was basically a massive gay club.
I absolutely, I wouldn't really contest that. I think that as well as a gay club, it was also a way of getting the money out of the poor people. So there was a kind of financial...
I'm not saying it wasn't efficient.
Yeah, but that wasn't so much to do with them being gay, but they found a way of strong-handing, or basically conning very nice poor people into giving away money that many of them didn't really have to enrich the gays. Maybe, you know, I'm sure they might have got... So it was a financial scam, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you were saying it was a way of hiding sexual behaviour and a financial scam. But apart from that, to be honest, and I would love to say something more positive about it.
They did some good art.
They paid for some good art. They haven't recently, though. Not in the last 100 years. Very little in the last 100 years.
And now they've got, like you say, they've gotten to kid fiddling.
Yeah.
And that's not
Although
good.
was that there all the time?
Well, I don't know.
It's very hard to believe that wasn't there all the time.
What, the kid thing?
Yeah. But it just never...
Well, it wasn't an issue.
Never
Kids,
emerged, yeah.
You fucked who you wanted back in the day. It didn't matter whether they were adults or kids, did it?
Oh, God.
What do we think about Prince William and what's his name?
Ooh,
no, there's no Prince. Is it? Well, no, what's his name?
I think it's a wife he's married to, isn't it?
No, Prince.
Prince,
you know.
Prince the singer.
No, not the.
I never want to
Purple rain, we want a deep rain, purple rain. Never got him. Never understood it.
I wasn't very keen on it, but that song I did love.
You like that?
And I saw how weird that he suddenly got this great white rock song. This little tiny... Was he black?
Stadium.
Was he black?
Yeah, very.
Like a stadium anthem, yeah.
He was quite good at stadium stuff.
Raspberry beret.
Yeah, Raspberry Berry.
Fuck off.
Raspberry Berry.
You little tiny mincing ponce.
Guy, don't say that.
What's wrong with saying mincing
People love
ponce?
Prince.
I didn't care. I said, but it's not like...
He had a church thing going on, didn't he? He had a church thing going on. He had a little church symbol.
No, single?
It was all presented like a church because it was very gospel.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it starts, isn't
there you go.
Yeah.
And I think he modelled himself on Little Richard.
But who wasn't so little, weirdly.
And who was gay.
He was
openly gay. And it was amazing, actually. One of my favourite artists, Little Richard.
Yeah. Yeah, he had those big lips and everything. He looked a bit...
Guys, say that again. What did you just say?
He had those big, like, kind of pouting lips.
What did you just say?
It's all right to say that of a human. He didn't. Little Richard had that very pouting mouth.
Oh my God! Yes, that's because he's a black guy.
No, I don't think so. Didn't he wear lipstick?
No, guy.
Oh right, it looked to me like he was wearing lipstick or something.
Guy. Oof.
It's all,
Shall I edit that out? Shall I leave it in?
No, you do as you want. I haven't. Are you
going to stand by that statement?
Yeah. Look at a photograph of Little Richard, and more than, for instance, Chuck Berry. His mouth is very, very,
very full.
Yeah, full and kind of like pouty. It looks to me like he's got lipstick on.
Maybe you did wear, but if so, very subtly applied, I would say.
Right, okay. Or maybe, anyway, maybe they were bruised.
Can I ask you a question? Deeply personal question.
Shoot.
Cast your mind back, Guy, to when you were a boy, just coming out, things of boyhood. Perhaps you were noticing that ladies, young women, for the first time, weren't as annoying as you thought. Perhaps you were looking at them in a different way and thinking, oh, maybe there's something to this.
Is this your train of thought?
Girls and boys.
Is this your train of thought coming up the hill? No, it's not.
So, Guy, no. So the question is this. Guy, I've got an interesting question for you.
Well, get on with it, sir.
So, Guy, the question is this. Mm-hmm. Who was the first famous lady, do you think, that you noticed and thought, I'll have some of that?
Well, Paul, thank you for the question. Of course, there were many fewer photographs of celebrities.
Can I guess?
No, just listen.
Can I guess?
Oh,
Alma Cogan.
What? Why do I? Honestly, why am I bothering to do this? And I don't understand. You asked me like a 2-hour question, and then you just answer it yourself.
A 2-hour question. God, you should hear your monologues. I have to edit them. Come on, Guy. Come on.
And I was about to say something quite interesting in reply.
Guysy, who was she, the lady of her? Do you remember, Guysy, when you were a young man? Do you remember, Guy?
Paul, stop it. Paul, seriously. Now sit back and listen because you may learn something. In my youth, many, many fewer images of women.
Yeah, but so who was it? Answer the fucking question.
Just listen, because I am answering the question.
Well, no, you're going on about there were very few images of women.
There weren't very many images. So we were talking about a very, very small pool of images. As a child in 1963 or 64, 65, where did you see images?
So what were you doing?
We never had magazines in our house.
So what were you doing, Guy?
There was no TV.
It's Grattan's catalogue.
I don't think there were catalogues in my house, and in fact I know there weren't in '64.
So what were you doing?
There may have been, and so I don't think it existed. There wasn't this kind of alternative reality, and if you did, and that's why the cinema became this pantheon of screen movies. But I didn't go to the cinema.
So what did you have, Guy? Will you please answer the question? Stop pussyfooting.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing right now.
And so you didn't have them because they weren't in existence.
So you're saying you didn't have one?
They weren't in existence.
You didn't have one?
I'd never seen anyone
So
famous.
how old were you before you realised that women existed?
Well, you know, you
28.
I saw them when I went. I saw
them.
I had two sisters.
What's that?
I had two sisters. I grew up with two sisters and a mum.
Guy, will you answer the question? Who was the first woman?
She wasn't famous, but we didn't know anyone famous.
I want to know a famous one. Who was the? Well, all right then. How old were you? I don't know. Maybe you were 19.
Exactly. If you listen, I'm trying to explain something cultural to you, but you're just trying to ram.
Like pulling teeth.
Honestly, Jesus.
Honestly, Guy, it's like pulling your nails out. Can you please get on with it? Who was it? Mel Torme.
There was no one. There was no one.
Who was it?
There was no one. It wasn't like that, Paul. You didn't see images of women.
So, all right. Shall I give you? I'm going to throw it in there.
You want to answer the question?
I can do it if it's going to help you to remember.
No, it's not a question.
With me, it was ABBA.
I've remembered.
It was those two women in ABBA and Debbie Harry, but not in that order. In the other order. It was them first, then Debbie Harry.
I knew you wanted to.
And they had a huge influence on me because obviously after that, you kind of looked at girls in a different way because
they just never like that with me.
So who were they?
I didn't fancy women I didn't know.
You didn't fancy women you didn't know?
No. I grew up with two sisters and a mother.
Right.
And quite a lot of women around me. I didn't fancy a photograph. It's like...
No, guys, not a photograph.
Why do you want... Well, yeah, but that's all we had, Paul. We didn't have TV. I didn't go to the flicks. I didn't fancy a photo. I just
didn't listen to music. Did you have a telly?
Well, telly was very... It's 1964 we're talking, 65.
You've got telly's like fucking Ready, Steady, Go was on. Surely you had Pet Clark on there and fucking...
I don't think at that stage, not until 69.
And Scylla?
70, probably 1968, 69.
What are you talking? You didn't have a telly till 1968?
Well, we lived abroad. We lived in India. We lived in interesting places.
So you didn't... It's no wonder you're fucked up.
It's not fucked up. It's just that I don't objectify women in the same manner that you do. I know there's something wrong with me, and I do it to the listener.
What are you talking about? Objectifying?
To the listener, I will apologise.
I'm not objectifying women.
But having kind of celebrity crushes is not my thing. Okay?
When you were younger, Guy, it's normal. It's normal. By the way,
it's normal. What I'm saying is, it's normal to your generation, but you've got to imagine generations before you didn't have celebrities. We didn't have celebrities in our life. Paul, I'm not trying to make some silly debate.
So all those girls that were screaming at the Beatles, they were all weird, were they?
That was when I was already 14 then.
What? I want to hold your hand. What year?
64. But I didn't see that. I didn't see anyone screaming at the Beatles.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 64. And there were all those teenage girls screaming at the Beatles, but that wasn't normal. You were the normal one, sitting in your little monk cell with your mum and your sisters and not having any fucking carnal thoughts about anybody that you'd never met. That is fucking weird, Guy.
It's not about celebrities.
Guy, that is
Celebrity
weird.
Has been something that's
Guy, it's weird. It's weird.
I don't care about if I'm being weird. I'm telling you the truth.
Well,
you're not
I don't believe you. I think you're hiding something.
You're not listening to it because
you're hiding something.
I'm not hiding anything, Paul. I'm not hiding anything. I'm trying to have an open debate with you. I'm telling you the truth.
It's not a debate. I'm asking you a question. You've turned it into a debate.
It wasn't. There was no one. I never saw an image of a woman.
Naked woman.
Of course not.
How old were you then? All right, so let's go forward a little bit in time.
Maybe, when pornography didn't arrive in my life. I never saw any pornography till I was, I'm sure, 19. There was no
now we're getting somewhere.
Around, Paul.
Now we're getting somewhere. So let's go to 19-year-old Guysy.
But there was no pornography around.
Let's go to 19-year-old Guy. Yeah? Who was he interested in?
Real live women. Oh my
Guy,
God.
are you telling me
shocking.
you didn't look at women on the telly or in the theatre or wherever, or whatever Ponzi thing he was doing at the opera?
Paul, I'll be really honest, I didn't, and I never have. I've never been like that.
Never?
Never. It's just not my... And maybe it's not my culture, but it's also not my nature. It's not my nature. That's just who I am, I promise you. Not to say I don't look at porn. I do look at porn, but I do.
I didn't need to know that.
I don't.
Guy, I didn't ask you that.
I don't have a kind of objectified thing. I don't have a celebrity crush, and I often read about my celebrity crush, and I always think, how could you conceivably, genuinely fancy someone?
Because, guys, it's a crush. It's not real.
I can have a crush, but I've got to have had a conversation with her.
Guy, that's why it's called a celebrity crush. It's not real.
I know, yeah, but for me, it's not real enough to create a crush if I haven't actually met her. I've seen her walk across the room.
Oh my God!
I know. It's called being normal. It's
called being very weird, Guy.
Is it? Well, I'm
honestly,
very proud
that is
to be
very, very odd.
Well, I promise you, I'm telling you the truth. That's how it is. I remember my cousin saying that he really fancied Clodagh Rogers. And I said...
This is what I wanted.
And I said...
I wanted Clodagh Rogers.
I said, who's that? And he said, Clodagh Rogers from...
He was like,
Was she TV? Yeah, he's like 4.
He was a singer. He went 4, Clodagh Rogers.
She was a singer, yeah. And I looked at him and I thought... And I remember this, probably about 14. I was at school with him. And I thought, how can you fancy that woman? One, she's an old woman. And she's probably 18 or 19. And 2, you don't know her. And more importantly, Paul, I'm not joking, she doesn't know you.
Did she do Beg, Steal or Borrow?
Could be, I don't know. But I thought, how can you fancy someone? How can you fancy someone who's not met you?
She was rubbish, by the way.
But how can you fancy someone who's not met you? That just did not compute with me.
I mean, those girls singing Ring Ring. How could you not fancy him?
Who were they?
ABBA.
No. That was I was 30 by the time of ABBA. No, not 30. I was 20.
No,
I was 22, 23. Because my friend was their plugger in EMI, Brad. He plugged that. He used to walk in and just go, hit machine, hit machine, hit machine. That's what we got. And I'd go, who?
Fucking hit machine.
He'd go, we've got a hit machine. They're called ABBA. We've got a hit machine. I remember him saying,
hit machine.
Yeah, he plugged that. He did ABBA. He introduced me to lots of music guys. He did Andy Williams as well.
He introduced you to ABBA and Andy Williams.
I tell you what.
Did you say I'm white?
No, maybe he was just given the first part of the alphabet. He was a huge company at EMI at that time. Yeah. And he used to go around to Radio 1 and make them play their songs. Mm-hmm. ABBA, hit machine, hit machine, hit machine. They're just a hit machine. Anyway, I didn't fancy them. Because they didn't know me. I can't really fancy someone who hasn't met me.
Thigh boots and a snood.
Snood?
Psychedelic snood and thigh boots, Guy.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's to me, you see, too objectified.
Oh, Guy.
I know it annoys you, Paul. It's all right to be annoyed by me, but it's just the truth. I'm not lying to you.
Too objectified.
There are some decent guys on this earth, and from time to time you're going to meet one, and you're looking at one...
Guy, there's nothing wrong with objectifying people, as long as it's a mutual thing, you know?
What, you think the other person's looking at a photo of you wanking off? Paul,
Guy,
this is absolutely tragic to explain to you, but that may not have happened.
Guy!
I don't know. What's she going to go, Berta, or what was she called? Pass me that picture of Paul Fry. No, I'm having it.
There was a sweet spot where that could have happened, actually.
What do you mean?
Because she was a bit older and I was a bit younger, and it could have, you know...
Do you ever meet her?
It'd be telling, wouldn't it?
I'll ask Vanessa.
It's Agneta and it's...
Don't say you don't know her name when you wanked off with her you wanked off about her so many times.
Why are you saying wanked off?
Is that what you were saying? I thought that's...
No, I'm not saying that at all.
What are you talking about? It's crush.
Why are you talking about wanking off?
When you said you had just an
why
innocent
are you talking
crush.
about wanking off?
When you said innocent crush, that's what I assumed you were.
Why are you talking about wanking off?
Because that's what I thought you were doing. I'm so sorry, I didn't understand.
Well, what were you doing? Wanking off over your sisters?
No, God, no.
But what were you doing then?
You know, having relationships with young ladies.
Oh, right, so you went straight to that?
You know, holding her hands.
At 10?
And listening to their feelings.
Oh, God, it's so repellent.
Helping them with the wine list.
You're a little horrible little creep, aren't you?
I'm not a creep.
Don't worry, my mummy's telling you all about this. This is a 7-young bloke. Look,
I love Paul.
No, what you do is you fill it round the glass, and then you have a little taste.
Well, Paul's
come here, look what's in here.
Get off me.
I can school you. Allow me.
Anyway, those nice people from ABBA, they have been like, they arrived absolutely exhausted after tossing each other off over a kind of well-thumbed, a really over-thumbed photo of Paul Fry.
Passing it round.
No, that's a light-hearted remark. I'd like to withdraw that.
It's too late. You've said it. It's on the tape.
It would be great if they had, though.
How do you know they didn't? Prove that they didn't.
I can't. That's the whole point. And I bet you some people have had a wank over you who you'd be surprised.
Guys, stop saying wank.
And me. Do you remember that?
Have you had a wank over me?
Do you remember?
Is that what you're saying?
No, I've never had a wank over you.
You just said it.
I've done some foolish things in my life.
Say me too, Guy.
Me too. Me too. But what about Sarah Lucas's Have you wanked over me today t-shirt? Do you remember that?
No.
Don't you remember that?
No.
It was a t-shirt. He just had a very white t-shirt with black letters. Have you had a wank over me today?
No, have you wanked over me today?
Was it have you wanked? So you have seen it?
No, you just said it.
Have you? I'm not sure. We'll have to get the picture right. Anyway, there's loads of it on the internet. And some people will have, Paul, who might be a little bit like, for instance, random estate agents.
No, but the thing is, Guy, you don't always do things like that out of... It's not even lust, is it? It's kind of a weird thing that happens.
Mm.
Like, you're doing it, and then something pops into your mind, and you go, what are you doing here?
No, you say, come in.
Come in. You're like, yeah. Come in and grab this.
Come in. Can you help? You could do what I've been after.
Let's get the end of this. We're trying to get there.